I love that song. I love my music. I love my theme music. Hey, everybody. My name is Linda Murray Bullitt. They call me the business plug. And this evening, I'm coming on a little later than normal because I had my guest. I'm waiting to, she'll be on in a minute. But before she gets here, today is the perfect day to have her on. We scheduled this some weeks ago, but today she's my guest and we're going to talk about male dominated occupations that women are getting into. Now, tell me, is that not a good subject for today? Is that not a good subject for today? And before I get to that, let me tell you that if your business needs certifications, if you're looking for your minority certification, you're looking for your women on, your veteran on, disabled, the certifications. And if you're trying to get corporate or government certifications, then reach out to me. The link is in wherever you're watching this video. But I love, love, love today that we're talking about women in male dominated fields, industries, right? Because today, our President Joe Biden, just stepped back to allow Kamala Harris to take the front running seat for the Democratic Party, which means if that should happen in America, that's on a whole nother scale because she's a woman and there never has in history been a woman in that position. And so today we're going to talk to Ebony. Ebony is in a male dominated industry. She is a recruiter for IT positions. Like her whole business model is she helps IT people get jobs. And so she is going to come on and tell you all about what it takes to operate an employment agency for IT businesses, right? And so she has a history. If you looked in the bio, if you looked in the description, you saw her bio where she talks about how she's worked in almost every field of the industry before she got to where she is. And now she's best suited to do the job she's doing in helping people in the IT fields find employment. And that's important because who can remember last year when a bunch of IT people lost their positions, right? So while we're waiting on her, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what some research I had done from Catalyst. So this is an article from Catalyst, and it talks about according to the latest data, and this is on May 31st of 2023. But it talks about according to the latest data, women make up 5% of those currently working in skilled trades in Canada. Just 8% of working women in Europe are in male dominated industries, and only 6.5% of the women working full time in the US are in male dominated industries as of 2020. It also talks about women have experienced recent gains in employment in male dominated fields in the US. It says between February 20th and March of 2022, women saw a percentage increase. So 7% in the construction jobs and 15% in transportation and warehouse jobs. But the challenges remain. Globally, while women's share of leadership roles have been steadily increasing, this has largely been in industries dominated by women, like energy, 20%, manufacturing, 19%, and infrastructure, 16%, were the three lowest ranking industries in terms of the percentage of increase in 2022. And then it goes on to talk about in Europe, right? But here in the US, it says women face increased harassment and discrimination working in male dominated workplaces. Male dominated industries and occupations may reinforce harmful stereotypes and creating unfavorable environments that make it even more difficult for women to excel. Across the globe, women working in male dominated industries are more likely to experience sexual harassment than those working in other industries. In 2022, in 2020, nearly half, 47% of Canadian women working in trades, transportation, equipment operation, and related occupations reported experiences of inappropriate sexual behavior at work. In the United States, the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, received more reports of sexual harassment from women working in male dominated industries like construction, utilities, mining, and transportation and warehousing. Women of color, particularly Black women, are less likely to report having support from their managers, which can contribute to a lack of leadership opportunities. Women working in male dominated industries face a variety of challenges in addition to sexual harassment, including societal expectations and beliefs that question women's leadership and managerial abilities, pervasive stereotypes leading women to take on necessary but rare rewarded office homework, high levels of stress, anxiety, depression, lowered self esteem, and self handicapping behaviors stemming from feelings of imposter syndrome, lack of mentoring and career development opportunities. Since women are the predominantly caregivers in families, they are looked at unfavorably when they need to take time off in industries commonly lacking paid paid sick leave, like construction. Women use variety mechanisms to cope with working in male dominated fields, such as overworking to prove themselves, which may eventually lead to early burnout, giving into pressures to act like one of the boys, exacerbating the problem by contributing to the normalization of a locker room culture and leaving the industry. Women sexually harassed at work are 6.5 times as likely to change jobs, often to one with lower pay. And so this is a very interesting article, and it has a lot of charts talking about the difference between Canada, Europe, and the United States. And it talks about those, those four, five main industries about construction, manufacturing, mining, quarrying, oil, and gas extraction. And then it has transportation and utilities. And it talks about, it breaks it down among Asian women, Black women, white women, and all women. And it looks like there are, the percentages are higher. Oh, and Latino women, Latinos, it has those in there as well. It looks like the percentage of women in those positions are higher for the white woman and white women, and that the Asian women are the lowest of the different scale. So it runs the white women, the Latinos, the Black women, and then the Asian women. Very interesting on today to talk about women in male dominated fields, because my guest, um, when I learned of her, we actually met on the set of the documentary that we shot back in May, the end of May, beginning of June, and we talked for a brief time about her experience, and she's been in the IT industry for several years, working for other companies, and because of what she saw happening in those companies, she decided to go out on her own and create NCredible Mindz. And so that's her IT staffing company. And you can find the link of it wherever you're watching this video to reach out to Ebony. But Ebony Hall is her name, and she should be here very shortly. But we want to talk about what it's like to be a female working in a male dominated industry, right? Because IT, most times when you're talking, I've never talked to a woman that was leading the ship for IT. Usually I'm talking to a guy. And sometimes I'm even talking to foreigners. But have never, today would have been my first time, will be my first time to talk to a woman about a male dominated industry, about, what it's like to be in the IT world. And hopefully she can make it on. She had some rescheduling she had to do. And so we have connected, and she said to give her a while and she'll be in. So hopefully she does get to come in and talk to us, because I really, really am interested in how she got to do this. And I want to know, where she's taking it from here. Like, how does she see it happening, and how she has been helping people find IT positions in in her field, in her IT field. So I'm very interested in learning. I love learning about women working in male dominated industries and how they survive. Like, because I know it can be rough, right? Because I actually worked on a job where it was all male. You get along because the guys don't have all those hormones and things happening. And so you get along because they're peaceful. But then it's a give and take, because sometimes it get a little rowdy. And so that's been my experience. Now, that's not to say that's everyone's experience, but that has been my experience in working in a male dominated industry previously. Haven't done that in years and years and years, but I worked in manufacturing on an assembly line once, and that was interesting. That was interesting because it was male, pretty much male dominated, but they did have women. So I worked in the department called hand assembly, and it actually taught me a lot about how to use tools. And then I also worked in a welding, so I did some welding in my life. Yeah, so when I was trying to keep the money coming in, I was doing all kind of things. And so I worked at this company called Cumberland Corporation. They're no longer in business. But when I first went in, I went in using hand tools, making the carts that the post office used to store mail. And so we were putting them together, working on the assembly line, right? And there were a few. There was a handful of women working with me, but there was mostly guys, right? And so having to understand like how primarily the women were the minorities there, and so having to work with guys who the chew, they had the chew and things, and stacking and loading unloading trucks, like welding milk carts, and doing all the things that came with the job, because on that particular job, because just because you were a woman doesn't mean you couldn't do the work, right? And so whatever assignment they gave you to do, you just simply did it. And so today, that's how I think that Kamala would think about this presidency. Like, you just have to do the job. If you're going to sign up for the job, you have to do the job. And that's what the American people are looking for. We're looking for somebody to do the job. Like, we need somebody who can consider all the people and do the job. And so that's what we need. That's what we need. We need somebody who's willing to do the job. And can a woman do it? We don't know. We don't know if a woman can do it because it's never been done by a woman. It's never been done by a woman. So having this today on this day meant a lot to me. And it looks like my guest is not going to be able to join me. And I hate that, because I really wanted her to be here, because I really wanted to talk to her about her IT business and how she got it up and running and how she's serving the world. And so what I'll have to do is I'll have to re-invite her on another Sunday. Since this Sunday didn't get off the ground, we'll just try it again later. That's all. But it was a great topic, though. Very timely, very timely. Like I said, we booked this weeks ago. And so the fact that she can come on and talk about it would have been extraordinary and very timely. And I love that. I love that. Long before I knew all this would happen today, I had her scheduled to come and talk to me. And then scheduling got, as scheduling do sometimes. That's the thing about having a live show, is your show must go on. And when your guest can or can't get here, it does make a difference in what content you provide. So in any case, I have taken 15 minutes of your time. And if I can reschedule, I'll bring Ebony on to talk to you about her business. In the meantime, I won't hold you any longer. I thank you for joining me this Sunday on the Business Plugs Mixer. And put your comments about today, the topic today, about women working in male-dominated industries. What's your thoughts on that? I'd love to hear it. Until next week, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug, and I just came to plug you into today is a great day to have the conversation about women being in male dominated industries. And so, well, wait a minute. It looks like I just heard from my guest. Yeah, it looks like I've heard from her. And if we can get her in, then we'll have her in. Yeah, so we'll see. That'll be great because I really, really wanted you all to hear from Ebony because it's a great day to talk about what she does and how she does it. So hopefully she will hop right in. I'm looking at her message and I sent her the link to come join me. So hopefully she'll pop in just a minute. And then we'll have her and we can talk about what she does and how she does it in order to do IT staffing, which is what she does at NCredible Mindz. And it's incredible, the N and incredible, and then Mindz has a Z on it instead of an S. So follow her on Instagram. She's on Instagram. You can follow her there and you can reach out to her. I put the links to her in wherever you're watching this. So if you're watching the replay, I still love, love, love to hear how you feel about women working in male dominated industries. I am very interested in that and just learning how people feel about it. Like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Have you ever thought about it? Are you doing it? Like, if are you a person that's working in a male dominated industry? And what is it like to be there? So I am waiting. Let's see if I can bring her on. Hold on, she's trying to find the link. That's the thing. Like I told you, that's the thing when you're doing a live show. It's all the way live. It's all the way live. So she's going to look and get the link so that I can make sure that she can join me. Yep, that's the thing. I tell you, you learn something new. This is the first time I've had to do this, and so this is very different for me. But let's see if she can get the link and join us. And she's looking for it there. Let me see if I can put it there for her. She's looking at it for it in a different place than I actually have it. So but if you have any questions about today's topic or have any feeling or feedback about today's topic, then feel free to join to put it there. I mean, and I'm not opposed to um, having someone having feelings different from mine, right? I'm not opposed to it at all. So yeah, so she's just joined us. Hey, Ebony. Hey, dear.
How are you?
I am fine. I came on because I had this article about women working in male dominated industries. And I thought, how great today when the president decides to step aside and let Kamala Harris take over. And politics is really male driven. So I thought, what a great day to have you on to talk about what you do and how you do it. So would you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you, Linda, for having me here. My name is Ebony. I'm the founder of NCredible Mindz IT staffing agency. I am a U.S. veteran. I've done everything from IT support to being an administrator, IT manager, IT trainer, you name it, I've done it. And I wanted to take all of these skills and put it into helping other people do some of the things that I did in a shorter amount of time and placing them where they belong instead of where they fit. I'm based in Atlanta and I'm from Columbus, Georgia.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So why IT? You said these were skills that you had before that you've worked in?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. And so how is it? How is it working in a male dominated industry?
it's tough. It can be tough because sometimes even with being in leadership in tech and men already looking at it as their field, sometimes you may tell them the exact thing to do, but they're gonna second guess you until they get that male answer, and it may be the exact same answer that you just gave. So it gets tough at times, but it's nothing too big that I can't handle.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And so you say you were military. So which branch of the military were you in?
Go Army, whoop.
Go on. Okay. Well, I'm a Navy mom.
Okay,
My son
hoorah.
was, yeah, my son was in the Navy. And so I'm a Navy mom. I was telling a soldier that today, just today. And he said, "Oh, well, I'm the descendant of Navy people. I'm the first one to go Army." So yeah. So yeah. So talk about what it is like. Like who should be calling Ebony to get positions?
Okay. Anyone in tech, if you are anywhere from IT support engineer, that is a very broad title there. IT support engineer could be a IT administrator, help desk, service desk, systems administrators, software engineers, and then your IT leadership. If you're trying to get into cybersecurity, if you want to get into IT, if you want to expand your career in IT, you should be calling me.
I love it. I love it. And so anyone that want to just has an interest, right, of up leveling.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. And so what type of education? Because I know that Microsoft has an entry level help desk certification
Hmm.
that they have that people are doing. Does that help for anyone looking for a position with you?
Yes, that does help. And what I do is once you get that certification or any certification to get you into tech, I make sure that's on your resume and that your resume says, hey, I'm eligible to have an IT or tech job. Because
Mm,
sometimes people will get those certs and they wonder why they're not getting calls back from employers, or your resume to the employers doesn't say tech.
mm. Yeah, and that's important because I write resumes all the time, and I always tell my clients, your resume needs to. Back when I first applied for jobs, you wrote a resume, you sent it to 30 different companies, and whoever called you first, that's where you went to work.
Yeah,
But in this day and time, you have to be more specific in what your resume says, and it has to be directed toward the industry you're trying to get in.
most definitely. And so I was watching a video where they were debating whether employees look at the whole resume if you have more than a 2 page or 1 page resume.
Mm,
My thing, the most important thing on a resume is that first page, right? Because the first page tends to
man.
make them want to go to the second page and so on. They may not go to the third, but that first page is your most. That is why I start off with career highlights. You
Yeah.
start with bullet points of accomplishments that you made in the industry, and then you go into your skills, and then you go into your certifications. Then you start your professional experience because now they see your highlights, they know what skills you come with, they know what certs you have, and then the rest continues on.
Absolutely, because they need to know what that career summary looks like. Like, what are you bringing to the table? And so that took the place of objectives. Like we used to have, that little section was an introduction, and it basically said who I am and what I'm looking for. But now they want to know what is in it for me.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. So tell people how they can contact you.
Yes, you can contact me. I'm on Facebook, Eb Hall. That's EB Hall. Facebook wants your first and last name. Or Incredible Minds is our company page. On Instagram, it's incredible underscore minds. And then my website is Incredible Minds. That's NCredible Minds MINDZ .com. That's my website. And you can call me at 470-945-3804. I know that's a lot of information, but I'm pretty sure Linda's gonna post this and I'll
Absolutely.
leave the
It's
comment.
already in the chat. It's already down there.
You're
It's
always
all
ahead.
they got to do is click it and go. Click it and go. That's what we're doing over here. Well, thank you. And they needed that information because we want people to reach out and talk to you about if they're interested in getting in the power of IT, honey, the IT industry. That is a lucrative field to be in, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw what just happened this past week where 911 was down, the flight stopped. I wrote an article on that. So if you go to my website, I got a blog on that and the big lesson to learn in that. So that just shows you we need more people, not just cybersecurity, because a lot of people, when they think tech, they think software engineer where you're coding, or either they think cybersecurity, but it's such a broad. Think about your GPS. Tech, that's tech, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, think big when you think tech, and definitely come to me if you have any questions.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's all kind of controversy on LinkedIn about it. They were like Donald um Microsoft had downsized two positions, and the next day and supposedly the positions were DEI. And
Mm,
they were like, the next day the whole system goes out. And they're
wow,
like, oh, that that is an interesting conversation.
that
And
is.
so, but women being in male dominated industries needs, need to be more of. If you have that bandwidth, if you have those attributes, if you can do the job, do the job.
Absolutely.
If you can do the job, do the job. And so I was holding, trying to, wait for you to get here because I wanted people to meet you, and I wanted them to see your marvelousness, honey.
So thank you. I'm so sorry. Like today was our pastor's anniversary. And
Oh,
I ended up going to that, and I'm just like, oh, and my notification didn't even come on. So I'm like, yo.
it happens. It happens.
Then I'm trying to get home, and then every light you see would turn red.
If that was me, most times when I'm trying to get somewhere, every 20-mile-an-hour driver in the world finds their space right in front of me.
Yeah.
And they just 20 miles. I'm trying to get to 40, 45, and they're like, they're a little 20 just driving. So I've been there, honey. I understand it totally. But I'm glad you did make it because I did really want people to meet you and to hear about what you do. And so when you talk about the placing people, what does it matter where they are, where they live? Like, how broad are you reaching out?
Right now, US wide, but I'm looking to go global.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Good for you. I
But
love
one
that.
thing I do want to tell the ladies that are in the male dominant, because we are way dominated in tech, get the qualifications, and when you get the qualifications, come in with that confidence, because
Mm,
your waters are gonna be tested, and it's not for the weak. So come in with thick skin, your certifications ready to go.
absolutely. Know what you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't take that away from you.
Exactly. If you know what you know what you know. We looked at Hidden Figures, right?
Hmm.
And there was one mathematician that got it right every time.
Hmm.
So much that Neil Armstrong said, "No, I want her."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you know what you know. Just be who you say you are,
Oh,
and walk therein.
oh yeah. That's all you can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, is there anything else you would like anyone watching this to take away from this conversation?
Do it. Don't let anything slow you down. Do it. Because you'll always sit there with that. I wonder if I would, how I could. Just do it, and you'll learn along the way. I came in here lost, and I found my way, and that is why Incredible Minds is here, so you can take the easier route than I did. If you're unsure, come to me. I also have a how to get into tech workbook to help you navigate through that if you're
No,
unsure what's your next step, and that's completely free. So reach out to me.
I love that. I love that. Good, 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 good stuff. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug, and I just plugged you into the power of IT with Ebony Hall. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next week on the Business Plug Mixer. Have a great week, everybody.